Hey guys, so I just want to make this real quick because today I did a super chat to the four-way collab that JD did on his podcast. Kind of a preview and prediction he did. It's a roundtables, he calls it, with Jesse Chi-Town Mark that he collabs and does reviews with when it comes to AEW Dynamite or even the pay-per-views. But he also had BC Amplified and Argo on there as well. And, they were talking, going back and forth about, the matches, who they see winning and all that, and why certain matches have come to be, as they are. And when they got to the super chat part, I decided to, put my 2 cents in, with a $5 super chat. And I basically said in there to them that if you want to blame anybody for all this Vince booking, when it comes to WrestleMania, Raw and all that, I said, if you want to blame anybody, put the blame on Bruce, who probably has Vince texting and emailing him, calling him with ideas. And JD basically agreed that, yeah, Bruce is Vince and Vince isn't there, which to me, like I said before, I'm kind of glad that in a way, he's starting to realize is a possibility that the only reason we're getting Vince-like booking there, even though it's under Triple H, is because Bruce is getting the pen, if you will, from Triple H to do certain outcomes and storylines, and probably doesn't realize until maybe now, I guess, that hey, wait a minute, you're doing things very similar to Vince. So yeah, his thing. Despite how I might feel about them letting Vince, what he did in the past live rent free in their head, and I've talked about that, I've talked about that when it comes to people like JD and just Alex and others, even though I pretty much, stand by that by saying, hey, you're letting him, what he did in the past and the fear of it happening again live rent free in your head. As I mentioned in my video yesterday, the 81-minute, hour and 21-minute prediction video that I divided into chapters so you can choose what portion of that you want to go to. I said in the Vince McMahon portion that basically, hold on for a sec. So I almost lost my train of thought there, but I was saying in there that I'm willing to agree that if there's anybody to blame, for, you getting this Vince McMahon booking is Bruce. Because legally, even though Vince is, listed as an employee now towards, for WWE for the next 2 years, which basically makes him acceptable being let go, being fired by whoever may buy WWE and, own it. Whether it's the Saudis, who I still believe is a group of Saudis that want to move forward and they want to, get away from the beliefs and all that the other countrymen are about, or if it's ESPN or whoever, or Endeavor, if you will. I basically said that, it makes him acceptable, to being fired by them. So if he's an employee, listed as an employee of WWE, even as executive chairman for 2 years, he doesn't mean he's bulletproof. It means he's unbulletproof. And basically what it means is that he could get fired. Like the new owners can, once the transaction is done, can basically, list off, okay, who do we want to let go? Who do we want to keep based on the reputation, the resume, who the wrestlers, the talent like. And they could look at Vince and say, you know what, Vince? Nobody likes you, too much baggage and all that. We're firing you, you're done. And they could do that. They could potentially do that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But, getting back to what I was saying, I do firmly believe that if you want to put the blame on anybody, for Vince-like booking happening right now, in people's opinion, you got to put the blame on Bruce because, as I was saying there, Vince knows that despite, filing as an employee to the SEC now as part of WWE as executive chairman for the next 2 years, he knows basically that he cannot legally steal. He cannot legally steal. How do I put this? He cannot legally steal. Go into creative. Like, he could sit down and guerrilla all he wants, but he can't call the shots. He can't call the shots or anything. He can't do this. He can't do that like he used to do. So he knows legally he can't do that, or else it's in violation of the agreement with the SEC. And that would give him enough reason to basically look into the investigations that people have against him even more so. So he knows, hey, I can't legally create a book or anything like I used to, but if the guy, my go-to guy, my sidekick is still there alongside my son-in-law, then that's my best option. That's my best solution to get some of my creative booking and creative booking ideas and all that out there. I'll filter them through Bruce and make it seem like it's Bruce and all that, and there you go. And I think that's why we're getting Vince McMahon like booking, like Lesnar and Omos and, many others. I think that's why we're getting it. We're getting it mainly because of the fact that Vince is filtering, in my opinion, and this is my belief, if you want to, feel like Vince is behind this, my belief is Vince is, filtering his ideas through text, email, and calling to Bruce Prichard, so that, he finds a way to, he finds a way to loop around, if you will, kind of find a loophole around, if you will, avoiding getting in trouble for basically being there illegally when he shouldn't be. That's the thing. So I think that's what's going on, in my opinion. That I do agree that some of the booking has Vince's writing on it or Vince's fingerprints, but I think it's more filtered writing and filtered fingerprints that are being, I guess you could say, migrated through courtesy of Bruce. Because I think, in a way, Vince is, Vince is texting him, he is emailing him, he's calling him, and maybe even, seeing him face to face, handing off notes and ideas for, booking, for creative booking and all that. That would be more Vince's style than Triple H's. That's what I think. So, honestly, I do agree that Vince does have a hand on what's going on, but I think it's more along the lines of he's filtering his ideas through Bruce, so he doesn't make it too suspicious, in his opinion, that he's behind everything going on right now. Even though I think he should realize people pretty much are not foolish, not to fall for it. The fans, the insiders, and even the talent. But that's what I think's going on. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. I'm going to be enjoying WrestleMania a little bit, but let me know what your thoughts are, and I'm out.